I would like a key to the baggage car.
Please, take one of mine.
Thank you.
Why do you have more than one key to the baggage car?
I often assist with the loading and unloading at the smaller stations. Sometimes I must loan a key to the handlers.
That will be enough, Pierre.
Please forgive me, mademoiselle.
Okay, let's go to the baggage car.
I confess that
The key fit perfectly.
Okay, I did all this before, but I had accidentally asked Poirot, and he was like, I'm going to...
This contains nothing.
quite interesting.
I'm going to fix the heater for you.
It looks like these contain... These goods.
So I think I need to unscrew this
Mademoiselle,
lid.
observe. Quite interesting. Quite interesting.
It's the cargo manifest. It shows that 3 casks were loaded in Belgrade, 1 of olive oil, 1 of honey, and 1 of vinegar. It also mentions a special security package that was loaded in Istanbul.
I'm going to need that special security package. Quite interesting.
A keg of white wine vinegar. Salonika olive oil. I've heard of this honey. It's reported to be quite good. It looks terrible out there.
Quite interesting.
What's so interesting about it?
This seems to be...
Wait, what?
This seems to be a security door. It certainly lives up to its name. It's locked. This seems to be...
I'm gonna need like a hammer.
Oh, another thing. Where is the key to the security room in the baggage car?
Mademoiselle, that key is kept only by the station masters.
Au revoir, monsieur.
1,000 apologies.
It is locked. I believe the idea is not to waste the heat on the help, most of whom are residing in that coach. It is an idea that is quite out of date.
That's some woke ideology.
I've already
girl.
searched it. I won't find anything. Nothing to see. The door is locked. I won't find anything else in there. I've already searched it thoroughly. Nothing to see.
I am not as frail as I look, but the cold will cause the pain from my arthritis to be unbearable.
Your poor arthritis. Alright, maybe I can get to Arbuthnot's room through here. Nice.
I won't find anything else. Nothing else. I've already... I won't find... Nothing to see. I can't see anything of interest. The door is... This door is tightly locked. I won't find nothing else to see in...
Look at here. You work for the train company? Get the heat fixed.
I see nothing remarkable.
Those are the same shoes as the other lady.
Nothing else to...
Alright.
I've already... I won't find...
Nice boots.
Mateo, did you see Mr. Hardman come this way just now?
No, señorita.
Señorita.
Señorita, unless we find a way to replace that broken pipe, our chances look very bad.
Yeah, smooth it out. Get that dress nice and smooth. What broken pipe? Am I in the Athens-Paris train coach? Ah, okay, I've never been in this car before.
Even now, fresh flowers.
Make sure that dress is smooth.
Every need provided for. Every need provided for.
Search all these vacant rooms. Ooh, look at this.
There's no power. I'll need to come up with a way to provide it with electricity. There's no...
Okay, I'm good at electricity.
I wouldn't want to get caught out in that weather.
Alright, cool. We found a radio.
The weather looks quite threatening. Nothing to see. I see nothing.
Is it just convention that everybody put their shoes in the closet there? This book will let me decipher Morse code. I suppose I can use this for something. Okay. Cool.
This is neither.
Ooh, look at this view. I always wondered how small these rooms were.
I wouldn't want to get caught out in that weather.
Classic. There's something under. Wait, what? Huh. Snowshoes.
Someone has seen to it that the snowshoes, they are beyond repair, and now quite useless.
Interesting. They appear to be smudged near the top. What does that mean? Excuse me.
Quite interesting.
Quite interesting.
I've already... I won't find any...
This appears to be an announcement for Dr. Stavros Constantine's upcoming speech. Antibiotics and their use in the treatment of primary chlamydia-induced enteritis. Sounds dreadful.
I am sorry, mademoiselle.
I enjoy winter, but only when I can't see... Nothing to see.
Get
I
at that
can't
shoe, girl.
Nothing to see. I'm sure I can piece these back together. There, it is complete. I will carefully place
Calais
it into my
coach.
scrapbook for further study.
Bar. Uniform in Belgrade Station washroom. Passkey in the pocket. Lots of rooms in the Athens-Paris coach will be empty. Hide in one of them until Broad. It's about time the dirty rat got what's coming to him. Interesting. This could be the murderer.
The door is locked.
Type Sensoy, railroad engineer.
I
Ooh.
can't see anything of interest. Nothing to see.
You know what they
I
say
see
about
nothing.
a man with big boots? Big ambitions.
I enjoy. The door is locked.
Okay, so that area is off limits.
Klaus's passport. Nothing else to see in there. I've already so.
He's listed as being Turkish.
Nothing to.
There's never anything to see. There's so much shit in these rooms. Flyers. Nice.
This wash basin is shared.
Quite interesting.
Okay, I gotta take note of all these quite interesting things. Oh man, I didn't check the closet. Nothing. forgetting a lot of stuff.
I see nothing. Nothing to...
Let me get some fireman's gloves. Abdullah Ozbilen. Date of birth question mark? Is that even allowed? These gloves are thick and heat resistant. I could probably pick up a reed hot poker with these and not feel a thing. Reed hot. Sturdy all-purpose pliers. These pliers are oversized. Alright. Oversized pliers. Let's go.
Nothing of interest here. I cannot...
Wait, was this the fireman's room? Oh my god. I always get lost in those bathrooms.
Nothing to see.
These are like the
I
nicest shoes.
I enjoy winter.
Great, you enjoy winter. There's a little pipe right there, right? Every detail is important in this case.
The door is locked.
Unlock it.
It's locked fast.
Well, I got a lot of good stuff out of it. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Senorita, unless we find a way to replace...
The woods look menacing and dangerous. The woods look... The woods look menacing.
No, the snow. It is much too deep to cross without the snowshoes.
I won't do that.
Oh, mademoiselle. No, the snow. It is much too deep to cross without...
Please! You must help me! My stomach!
Do you need a doctor?
No! I need food! I am wasting away!
What?
I'm sure if you went to the restaurant car, the chef would fix you something.
You do not understand. Klaus, the chef de cuisine, is a master. His meat, his sauces, but even the tenderest meat must be chewed.
Does this have anything to do with why you sound funny?
You must be a detective.
You will remember, please, I work for Monsieur Booth himself in Istanbul.
Forgive my outburst. It's the pain of an empty belly. I am a busy man. I work hard. I have little time for frivolity.
Frivolities?
It is. You will pardon me. I had not brushed my teeth since before the Great War. The dentists in Istanbul are fiends. This one, he does not cure me. No. He yanks my teeth out. But the new teeth he has made do not fit properly. Adjustments are needed. He sends them to Trieste. But the train will pass through Trieste in only 2 days. I can survive for 2 days on soup. Now we may be stranded here for a week or more. Remember 1929? It has happened. It can happen again.
Monsieur needs...
Meat.
and to chew it?
Feed. Once I have eaten, I will be in your debt forever. ask anything of me.
Monsieur, today is your lucky day. I have teeth for you.
I have little to offer you in return. I know nothing of the murder, but thank you so much.
What? I just gave him tea.
Monsieur, I have desperate need of your hammer.
I would do anything for you, mademoiselle, after the service you have done for me. But I need that hammer to check the boiler pressure. If you can find me an adequate replacement, then it is yours.
Please, help yourself, dear young lady. Anything you want. Help yourself.
I already have what I need from there. I don't need...
Hard-won lump of coal.
I have something I think will be adequate to replace your magnificent hammer.
What a wonderful object. This will do nicely. Please take the hammer with my compliments.
Sick. I'm in desperate need of your hammer. I've said that before.
I shall eat like a sultan now. Thank you kindly.
I gave this guy like someone else's dentures, like a dead man's dentures. It's creepy. Impossible to break. Okay, now I need to go. Is he gonna fix the heat?
Thank you, mademoiselle, for this splendid teeth.
I already... This must be where the steam is escaping. It's quite hot, even from a distance. This must be where the...
Let's use my coal.
You presume that this would be the choice of well.
That isn't going to help.
The good detective knows even the most useful tool. Near Tadam.
I won't do that.
Does nothing.
Those don't work together. Even after a rescue train arrives, that avalanche will take some time to dig through. All these doors are locked, as per Monsieur Poirot's instructions.
Okay. Let's go to the baggage car. Oh, I can't.
all these... Better to let the dead rest in peace. The body was thoroughly searched.
Gotta see if he's got any more teeth.
I won't find nothing else to see.
Alright. Baggage car.
That doesn't make sense. The nails were loose. Peculiar. Well, what do we have here?
Alright. Need to unwrap the wire from the shoes. Okay.
The snowshoes are now quite usable. I saved the copper wire as well.
Alright. I removed this length of copper wire from the snowshoes. Copper wire like this must be conductive. Oh, sick. Alright.
I'd better put the lid back on for appearances. This is neither the top.
Your current course of...
Should I put the nails back?
Mille pardon, mademoiselle, but that choice... The good detective knows even the most useful...
New adrenaline drivers, no.
The snow. It is...
I'm not sure what I expect to find wandering around out here. A deer. I should leave her alone. She's got enough to worry about with all the wolves around. This looks like a dead end. This looks like a... This looks like a...
I'm out here.
So many paths. It would be easy for me to get lost out here.
Just keep going left.
This looks like a dead end. This looks like a...
Will this wolf kill me?
Senorita, unless we find a way to replace that broken pipe, our chances look very bad.
The door is locked.
Gotta restore heat.
These etchings are mud.
I must attend to my duties, mademoiselle.
How can I talk to you when my teeth they chatter so?
At least you have teeth.
You did not expect to see me again so soon, did you? Please give me the key to the Athens-Paris coach.
Here is mine. Keep it as long as you like.
That will be all, Pierre. It is locked. I believe the idea... The key fit perfectly.
Mademoiselle, use the little gray cells that Poirot knows that you possess. Huh? Find another solution.
That isn't such a good...
The good detective knows even the most...
I don't think that's... I can't get them to fit.
Senorita, unless we find a way to replace that broken pipe, our chances look very bad.
Broken pipe. You got a gun in your inventory? Yeah.
Something is wrong here.
Oh, wow. Spoilers.
Remember, mademoiselle, you are the intruder here, not the wolf. It is senseless to harm the creature.
The gunshot seems to have frightened him off.
What now?
Those don't work together.
Why do I need two of these?
This looks like a dead end.
Let's kill the deer.
That isn't going to help.
Your current course of action? It is...
A deer. I should leave her alone.
2 metal spouts.
This must be where the steam is escaping. This is neither the time nor the place.
I confess that your logic...
Yeah. I can talk to the guy.
Thank you, mademoiselle, for this splendid feat.
You presume that this would be the choice of Poirot? I think not.
I already have.
Your current course of...
Okay, let me check around here.
Even after a rescue. All these doors.
Please forgive me, Mademoiselle Marceau, but might we speak later?
All right.
Now is not the...
I mean, I guess I can talk to him. Let me save it before I talk to him.
Mademoiselle, of course, our investigation is of the utmost importance. But we cannot investigate under these conditions. We are not the polar bears. If you have the difficulties, Poirot will offer to you what help he can. But remember the challenge I make to you. Every time you receive my help, I am closer to winning.
See, I don't want that. How French of him.
It looks like these
Quite interesting.
I won't do that.
Oh, mademoiselle.
That key doesn't work here. I don't think that... The spout fits perfectly. The valve prevents it from pouring until turned.
Oh, maybe there are three. More stuff.
Does nothing strike you as... Oh, mademoiselle.
This spout fits just as well as the first. I've heard of this honey. Salonica olive oil. A keg of white... I filled the tumbler with vinegar. I filled the tumbler with olive oil. I can't take that now. Olive oil would run all over the floor.
Alright, let's mix them.
Those don't work together.
Nice. Salad dressing. Oh, I forgot to add the nails. Oil, vinegar, and nails.
I can't get... Something is wrong here. I've heard of this honey. It looks like these goods are being This door leading out.
Excuse me, please, mademoiselle. I will be happy to talk to you in a little while.
I confess that your logic.
This is neither the An avalanche, a murder, and now no heat. An unlucky journey for us all.
Would you like
An avalanche.
vinegar?
You presume that this.
I enjoy winter. Those don't work.
All right, have a good one. I'll see you later. Okay. NBD either way. BRB.
It's locked fast. This door is tightly locked.
Pardon me, but I will speak to you later.
Nothing else. I've already searched it. Nothing else to...
Okay. Gotta figure out what this salad dressing's for. Oops. So I gotta restore heat, fix a pipe. Let's try not to backseat anymore. I'll just try to figure it out best I can. There's a radio.
It's locked fast.
Let me see. I keep hitting escape when I mean to hit right click. Fingerprints. Oh yeah, fingerprints is a thing that I need to do. So, pipe cleaners. Handkerchief, olive oil, vinegar, ice tongs. I think I need to go back outside. All right, have a good one. The dentures could have used a good vinegar soak before you second-handed them. I can't believe that guy was like, oh yeah, I'll take these dentures. Like, sure. Sure, dude.
All these doors
are locked. Alright, I got a hammer. I forgot I have a hammer.
The Athens-Paris coach. The Athens... The Calais coach. With the exception of the one window, it looks quite normal, although recent events suggest otherwise. The restaurant car. I can smell roasting meat from here.
So that guy wanted meat, right? He's like, I need the meats. I need the meats. I'm trying to fix my... my green screen here. Yeah, now I'm like a ghost. Oh well. think it's just in the snow. The green screen kind of craps out. Alright, let's look at this car. Alright, this is the pipe that's
This
broken.
must be where the steam is escaping. It's quite hot,
even
from a distance.
Alright, and then these gloves have something. These gloves are thick and heat resistant. I could probably pick up a reed hot poker with these and not feel a thing. I know she meant red. Like well read.
The good detective knows even...
A well-read hot poker. Alright. So that's where I need to fix the heat. Fixing the heat's like the next thing I need to do. Oh, maybe I can walk out into the snow here. No. Alright, let's check out with this guy. He's got nothing.
I already have...
I cannot wait to try some of the chef's wonderful dishes.
So he's still hungry. Here's one of the chef's dishes. It's just olive oil.
This is neither the...
What about just vinegar?
Your current course of action?
Alright. So maybe this guy needs some food. I don't... Oops. I keep hitting the wrong keys. So I need to get to the restaurant car. Wait, who's the chef? I've got... This is a doctor, railroad engineer, chef, Klaus Herkenschiemer. And he's not in the restaurant car, or is this him? Yeah, this is him, right?
Excuse me, please, mademoiselle. I will be happy to talk to you in a little while.
In a little while. Does he want the recipes?
This is neither the...
Does he want the olive oil?
I confess that you...
Alright, there was something back here about... Oh, wait, check the bathroom.
It's locked.
Alright, let's check. There was something on the wall right here. Something about the chefs wanting...
It's the cargo manifest. It shows that 3 casks were loaded in Belgrade. 1 of olive oil, 1 of honey, and 1 of vinegar. It also mentions a special security package that was loaded in Istanbul.
Right on. So I got the taps into the barrels. I could collect some more stuff.
I don't need...
What about that?
I don't need any more olive oil.
Alright, good. Don't need any more of it. Alright.
The weather looks quite threatening.
So, I guess I gotta wander around the woods.
This contains nothing that would... These cases contain food for...
Quite interesting.
I think quite interesting always means that I
Food
need
for
to
the
check
journey.
for fingerprints.
These items do not belong to any of the passengers. These goods are being shipped. This contains nothing.
Yeah, and the only thing that's left in the train to do is the radio.
Señorita,
Alright, let's wander around the woods again. Let's go shoot that wolf.
No, the snow.
Alright, snowshoes. I do have broken snowshoes. Don't know how that would fix the pipe. Alright, and then this is a dead end.
This looks like a...
That's where I got the tap. Alright, to the left. Okay, so this is back to the train. And her snowshoes came off. Alright, so I can go up or left. Let's go left. Left is to the deer.
This looks like a dead end. This looks like a dead...
Alright, I got the second tap here.
This looks like a dead...
Let's go to the right. And is this where it connects? Oh, okay. So I don't think I've been up here. Another wolf.
Oh, mademoiselle, you...
Shoot
Remember,
the deer.
mademoiselle, you are the intruder here, not the wolf. It is senseless to harm the creature.
The gunshot seems to have frightened him off.
Nice. Okay, now we can go. Let's look over here. Wait, where'd my snowshoes go? Foreboding. Better smooth out that dress. That looks like a murder weapon to me. A sharp steak knife with the train logo carved into the handle. Both sides of this knife are spotless. Maybe I should give it to the engineer so he can cut up his food into smaller pieces.
Mademoiselle, observe, if you will, the 400-foot precipice you are about to step over.
Reconsider, s'il vous plaît. Fingerprint it? I don't know how to fingerprint yet, so I'm not ready to fingerprint things.
Throwing yourself from the cliff would... The student of crime.
Whoa, he thinks I want to commit sue? Get a little dead? Alright, so there's nothing over there, and then to the right.
A hut out here in the middle of nowhere.
A hut out here in the middle of nowhere. Let's look at this deer.
A deer. I should leave her alone. She's got enough to worry about with all the wolves around.
Let's shoot the deer.
I am sorry, ma'am.
I mean, let's shoot the house, right?
Does nothing strike?
Alright, let's go check out this little house in the middle of nowhere. We'll fingerprint it.
A shepherd's hut. Probably only used when the snow it is gone and he brings his sheep up to the high pasture.
There's a hole in the roof. If it's locked, I'm gonna be pissed. Oh, it's locked.
It's locked fast.
It's locked fast?
One of the bars appears to be quite loose. Would you not say so, mademoiselle?
I'd say so. This one.
One of the bars. One of the bars.
One of the balls. Alright, let's use my gun.
You presume that...
Just kidding, Poirot. I'm not gonna be able to open it with a gun. Maybe pliers?
I am sorry, mademoiselle. I confess that you're... I am sorry, ma'am.
Alright, hammer. Alright, hammer. Kapow.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Wait. Oh, so now I got a bar. This bar was wrenched from the window with a hammer. It's about 3 feet long. Apart from where rust weakened it at one end, it appears incredibly strong. Sorry, I gotta go get my cat out. I'll be right back. We're making progress. All right. We've got the bar. You want to use it on the padlock? Boom. Well, you've either got a good sense of how to be a detective, or you've read the walkthrough. But either way, it worked. Let's go in. All right, now we're talking. This is a uniform missing a button. It is an attendance uniform. The label reads Petite. There is a button missing and something metallic in the pocket.
What is this? A second passkey? So, the mystery of how a murderer may pass through the locked doors? It is now explained.
Oh, okay. There was a key in the back pocket. This key was found in the conductor's uniform from the shepherd's hut. Surely explains how the murderer passed through locked doors. It looks a lot like... No, it looks different than this key. And this key. They all look different. This is just a completely different key. I bet it opens the security door. Oh, sick. Look at that. Stiletto. This is a stiletto, and I have it from Monsieur Poirot that it is the kind often used by the American mafiosi. The backside of the blade is stained with dried blood, and I think I see a smudge on the handle. Alright, I gotta get those fingerprints going.
An antique stove. I haven't seen one of these in years.
Let's use the coal in the stove.
That isn't such a good idea.
I mean, it's kind of a good idea. Alright. So now the window's open.
Now the gap in the bars is too small to crawl through.
Wait, did I get locked in? Like, why am I... Wait, I want to keep the window open. Need that stovepipe for the train? Oh, smart.
I can't loosen the pipe with my hands.
Alright. What could we loosen it with? Maybe pliers? Nice.
That isn't...
Mille pardon.
Okay, I think I got it all.
No, the snow. It is my...
Oh, gotta put my snowshoes back on. Alright. Hey, there's a hole in the roof, but it doesn't really... You can't really tell inside the hut. Oops. And we're back to the train. Alright, so let's go fix the heat. Probably gonna need to use gloves and a stovepipe.
Something is...
Alright.
This must be where the Wonderful. That should hold, at least until we are rescued. Not a bad job, if I do say so myself.
That was pretty dope of me. Wow, that was a nice little cutscene.
The heat is now restored. Now on to the matter of murder.
Alright, let's check my documents. I restored heat to the train +1. Obtain keys for the various train cars. Complete the timetable by questioning all suspects. Find out if all suspects have alibis for the night of the murder. Collect all passports. Okay. So, let me look at my timetable. Okay, looks pretty decent. All right. So now people will talk. So let's talk to some people. Hey, where'd she go? I need the princess. There she is. She was right here. Oh, there's her passport though. And there's her bracelet. I'll be taking that.
The bracelet is worthless, mademoiselle. It is copper only. I bought it outside the train station in Istanbul. For my arthritis. Take it if you like.
I'm very sorry, Your Highness. I realize how this must look, but I'm only doing the job assigned me. I promise I'll return it to you, if I can.
Ah, then I expect you would like to interrogate me. I believe that is the correct term.
If I may.
But of course, I am suspect just as anyone in the Calais coach must be. I am ready for the third degree.
Could you give me a brief account of your movements last evening?
Nothing could be simpler. After dinner, Schmidt, my maid, read to me. We were interrupted by the train stopping to avoid the avalanche. Then she read aloud to me some more till quite late.
Can you give me an idea of the time?
If I were to guess, I would say it was 1:30.
Has your maid been with you long?
15 years.
Do you consider her trustworthy?
Absolutely. Her people come from an estate of my late husband's in Germany.
Forgive the personal nature of this question, madame, but what is the color of your dressing gown?
My dressing gown? It is of blue satin.
I have borrowed your passport, Your Highness.
I noticed that as well.
Natalia Dragomirov, 17 Avenue Kleber, Paris. You are traveling home from Istanbul, madame?
Yes. I have been staying at the Austrian embassy. My maid is with me, as you saw in the marketplace.
You have been in America, I presume, madame?
Many times.
Were you acquainted with a family by the name of Armstrong?
You speak of friends of mine, mademoiselle. Sonia Armstrong was my goddaughter. I was on terms of friendship with her mother, Linda Arden, one of the greatest tragic actresses in the world. As Lady Macbeth, as Nora in A Doll's House, there was no one to touch her. I was not only an admirer of her art, I was a personal friend.
Is Linda Arden dead?
No, she is alive. It is a sort of life. She lives in complete retirement. Her health is very delicate. She must lie on a sofa most of the time.
Mrs. Armstrong had a sister, did she not?
Yes, much younger than Mrs. Armstrong.
And she is alive?
Certainly.
Where is she?
I must ask the reason of these questions. What have they to do with the murder on this train?
The dead man was responsible for the kidnapping and death of Mrs. Armstrong's child.
Ah. In my view, then, this murder is an entirely admirable occurrence. You will pardon my slightly biased point of view.
It is most natural, madame. Where is the younger daughter of Linda Arden, the sister of Mrs. Armstrong?
I've lost touch with the younger generation. I believe she married an Englishman some years ago, but at the moment I cannot recollect the name. Mademoiselle, you will forgive me, but the one you assist, he who guides the investigation, no one has told me his name.
He is Hercule Poirot, madame.
Hercule Poirot.
Of course. I thought his face was somehow familiar to me. Poirot on this train. It is destiny.
All right, that was a lot of stuff.
I think Monsieur Poirot is very lucky.
That was a lot. I wonder if I was supposed to talk to her last. Timetable. Okay. I need to complete the timetable. So, the guy who's dead is, we think, is the murderer of some American's child. The Armstrong child. Let me look at her passport real quick. Princess Natalia Dragomirov. Her age is not listed. Currently lives in Paris. Miss Dracula. That's what you... Yeah, look. Her face was crazy.
Colonel Arbuthnot, I do not believe we've been properly introduced.
I expect the formalities must be winked at in a case like this, mademoiselle. The attendant told me you are acting on the Frog Detective's behalf.
I am the Frog, monsieur. Hercule Poirot is Belgian.
Apologies. No offense meant. Your accent's a bit of mid-channel. Difficult to pick up.
People from France are called frogs?
May I have your passport, please?
Of course.
Colonel Francis Gordon Arbuthnot, the Muse, Cheltenham, Royal Northumberland Fusiliers, currently stationed in India.
Yes, on leave.
But you're not traveling on the P&O
Yes,
boat?
because they eat
Why
frog
not?
legs? I didn't know
I
that.
stopped in Baghdad with the AOC, who happens to be a good friend of mine.
Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez is a friend of his.
Where did you meet Mademoiselle Debenham?
Miss Debenham? What, in Baghdad, if you must know.
And your opinion of her?
You can take it from me, she's all right. A Puka Sahib.
Can you give me an account of your movements last night?
Yes, I think I can. After dinner, I had a drink in the salon car with young McQueen, the dead man's secretary. Surprisingly knowledgeable about world affairs for an American, even if he had got hold of some tomfool ideas about India. We adjourned to his compartment, let me see, at around 2100. That's 9 p.m. You saw us in the Belgrade station courtyard. We stepped out for a bit of fresh air, but with the weather turning foul, that wasn't on.
What do you and Monsieur McQueen smoke?
McQueen doesn't, now that I think of it. A pipe's my weapon of choice.
What happened after Belgrade?
Around 2200, that's 10 p.m. Ratchet's valet came to fetch him for his employer. He went off for a while.
And what did you do after Monsieur McQueen left you?
Well, I went back to the salon car for a nightcap, didn't I? I was heading to my compartment when I ran into McQueen. Went off back to his room again to continue the natter. I put him straight on India. Learned a bit about the American stock market. Bloody fool's game, if you ask me. Oh, pardon that is to say, my language.
Do not concern yourself.
There, you see. Now I can hear the accent. It comes and goes.
What time did your discussion of world affairs end?
The conversation was so engrossing, by the time I looked at my watch, it was 1:45. McQueen called the attendant to make up his bed. I came back here.
Did anyone pass Monsieur McQueen's room while you were talking?
A good many people, I should think. I wasn't paying attention. The attendant did at one point, and I think I caught a glimpse of you wandering about.
Let us say during the last hour of your conversation.
Oh, you caught a glimpse,
Really,
did you?
Colonel, you have the soldier's observation for detail.
Hang on. There was a woman, I think.
Can you pinpoint the time the woman passed? What were you discussing?
Let's see, I was detailing the other washout. Stalin's 5-year plan was turning out. It must have been within the last half hour. More definite than that, I can't say.
Was this woman young or old?
Didn't see her, wasn't looking that way. Just a rustle in a scent.
Mademoiselle Debenham?
No, I'd recognize. That is to say, it wasn't. No, it was very strong. Fruit or something.
Have you ever been in America?
Never. Don't want to go.
Did you ever know a Colonel Armstrong?
Armstrong. I've known 2 or 3 Armstrongs. Selby Armstrong. He was killed on the Somme.
I mean the Colonel Armstrong who married an American woman and whose only child was kidnapped
Get
and
to the
murdered.
point. Nice.
Ah, yes. I remember reading about that. Shocking affair. Never actually came across the fellow, but his name came up in the officer's mess, of course. Toby Armstrong. Nice fellow. Everybody liked him. Distinguished career, got the VC, Victoria Cross.
The man who was killed last night was the man responsible for the murder of Colonel Armstrong's child.
Then in my opinion, the swine got what he deserved. Though I would have preferred to see him properly hanged, or electrocuted, or whatever it is they do over there. Trial by 12 good men and true. Sound system.
Sound system?
Anything you can recall from last night that strikes you as suspicious?
There was one odd thing.
Yes?
As I got back to my compartment, I noticed that the door of the one beyond mine, number 16, it wasn't quite closed. The chap inside peered out in a rather furtive sort of way, then quickly pulled the door.
It's number
Probably nothing
16.
in it, but you know what it is. Early hours of the morning, everything very still. The thing had a sinister look, like a detective story.
Thank you, Colonel Arbuthnot.
Not at all. Now, if you don't mind, I think I'll pop along to the salon car.
Don't let me keep you.
You mean to say you intend to stay in my compartment?
Yes.
And search through my belongings?
I'm sorry, but I really must.
But that's... I mean, it just isn't. That's bloody irregular. Pardon my French.
I've already searched your stuff, my bro.
Nothing else. I won't find... I see nothing. I can't see any...
I don't know why I'm searching. I've looked in his room like 1,000 times. La-da-dee, la-da-da. Alright, Princess and Arbuthnot. The Scarlet Kimono Woman. And the Count is not here. Wait, the Count is here? Alright, let's keep going down the hall. And we got Hardman's room. These passports were not there earlier. He's a salesman. Let's check out his passport. Cyrus Betham Herdman, age 42, of New York City. His profession is listed as salesman of typewriter ribbons.
Nothing else to...
Alright, I got all the passports. Wait, no I don't. I need more. Let's go this way. Did I get the Count's passport? They always leave them on the bedside table.
I can't see any...
I don't think I have the Count's passport. 1, 2... Alright. Hubbard. Where's your passport, Hubbard?
Well, it's about time, I must say.
This
Here
is
I am with
Candace
information
Bergen.
that will solve your mystery for you, and it's hours before you show up. You are helping that famous detective, or whatever he is, aren't you?
Yes, madam, I have that honor.
I would think you'd be more on your toes. In America, the police would have arrested the culprit by now on my evidence.
Then let us proceed without delay.
Have you ever worked for NBC?
May I have your passport, please?
My passport? What do you want my passport for? I'm the witness, not the murderer. What is wrong with you people in this country?
This is Yugoslavia, madam. I am French.
That's what I said.
Your passport? Thank you. You are Caroline Martha Hubbard of Great Neck, is it? Long Island?
That's what it says, doesn't it?
You are traveling to Paris to meet your daughter?
Yes. Then
Turn
I'm
of the
supposed to sail
century,
for home
Karen.
the day after
Right on.
tomorrow. Though, how can I do that stuck here? I'll never know.
Did you hear any sounds coming from Monsieur Ratchet's room?
Well, earlier I'd asked that Swedish lady, Mrs. Olson.
What was
if she had anything for a headache.
the
She's a nurse, you
painter
know.
that Murphy
Yes,
Brown was
I know.
having sex
Poor
with?
soul. Looking for my room, she'd opened the door to Mr. Ratchet's compartment by mistake. He laughed and said something not very nice, I think. But I couldn't make it out. She said, "Oh, I make a mistake. I ashamed to make a mistake," in that bizarre accent of hers. And he laughed again and said something about her being too old. The idea. My late husband, Mr. Hubbard. and I enjoyed conjugal relations right up to the very end.
Anything else?
After that, I heard snoring. Quite loud, like an airplane engine revving up.
What color is your dressing gown?
What an odd question. I have 2 dressing gowns, if you must know. A pink flannel that's kind of cozy on board ship, and a purple silk number that my late husband, Mr. Hubbard, gave me. But what in creation do you want to know that for?
Someone in a scarlet kimono was seen coming out of either your compartment or Monsieur Ratchet's. It is very difficult to tell sometimes which is which when all the doors are closed.
Well, it wasn't mine.
Then it must have been Monsieur Ratchet's.
That wouldn't surprise me any. I thought I heard a voice in there.
Was it a woman you heard in Monsieur Ratchet's room?
Yes, I think it was.
Did you hear what was said?
Well, I didn't put a glass up to the connecting door and eavesdrop, for heaven's sakes. What sort of a person do you think I am?
Oh, I did that.
When was it you heard this voice?
I have no idea. Sometime after the snoring died.
Was it before or after the train stopped?
After. After the man in my room that you have so far failed to ask me about. I woke up, heard the voice, and that was that.
Tell me about the man you thought was in your room.
At last. No offense intended, sweetie, but you foreigners do just about everything backwards.
The man?
She should have said ass backwards.
I woke up. All in the dark it was. And I knew, I tell you, that there was a man in there with me.
In your bed?
In my what?
A real,
no,
living,
my compartment.
breathing man.
I was just so scared I couldn't scream. I just lay there and thought, mercy, I'm going to be killed by some foreigner. These nasty trains. I just lay there with my eyes closed and thought of America. Somehow I got my wits about me and I felt about with my hand and I felt.
Yes?
The bell button. I pressed it and pressed, but no one came. I thought, mercy, what if they've murdered every single soul on the train? I went on pressing the bell, and at last, footsteps in the corridor. I dragged on my dressing gown, the pink one. I screamed, come in, and switched on the lights, and would you believe it? There wasn't a soul there.
I loved what she just said, because she was like, I was scared for my life, and I closed my eyes and thought about America.
Michel opened your door and entered.
Yes, although considering the time it took him to arrive, he must have come by dog sled. He seemed to imagine I dreamt the whole thing. I tell you here and now, I'm not one to imagine things.
Michel searched your compartment?
Yes, even under the chair. Although he said there wasn't room for a man to squeeze himself under there. I asked him to check the connecting door.
Was it bolted?
No, but I knew it had been because I asked the Swedish lady to check it when she brought me the headache powder.
Fucking headache powder?
Before Michel arrived, did either door open and close?
Sweetie, my eyes were squeezed shut tighter than a banker's fist.
And I was thinking of America.
And with the bell making all that racket, the intruder could have dynamited a hole in the wall, and I wouldn't have heard it.
Do you remember the Armstrong kidnapping?
I'll say I do. How that wretch that did it escaped scot-free,
This woman seems xenophobic, yeah.
I'd like to get my hands on him.
You could have, madam, when the connecting door was unbolted.
You mean Ratchet was the man?
Yes, his real name was Cassetti.
Well, imagine that. Wait till I tell my daughter.
Were you acquainted with the Armstrong family?
Well, they were from New York, too. But no, they moved in a very exclusive circle. I've always heard that Mrs. Armstrong was a perfectly lovely woman, and that her husband worshipped her. It was all incredibly sad.
I would like to dust the doorknob of the connecting door for fingerprints.
My, aren't you the little improviser? Be my guest, sweetie. Search the whole place if you'd like. I need a drink.
Now can I do
Mrs. Hubbard,
fingerprints?
wait. You dropped this.
That's not mine.
I thought as it has the initial H on it.
I've got mine right here. See? It's marked CMH, and it's a sensible thing. Not that flimsy, expensive Parisian cambric. What good is a hanky you can't sneeze into?
Oh, sick. Alright. So she was the CMH thing.
I see
Napkin. Alright. I want to dust the door for fingerprints. Trust the door.
You presume...
Oh, I didn't look at her bracelet yet. I believe the copper bracelets like this one are an emerging fad for treating arthritis. It seems quite ductile, which means bendable, although I can't quite manage to bend it bare-handed. I have a tool for that.
The copper bracelet is now straight with a hooked end.
Straight with a hooked end. Oh, I didn't look at the bar either, did I? Oh, yeah, I did. Meaner. This must be conductive for something. Maybe the radio, right? Uh-huh. Alright, who's in here? Dead guy. I already asked him all the questions that I need. Alright. Poirot. I don't want to... I should question him, but I'll do it last. He always seems to take over when I talk to him.
Hello, miss. There is more snow coming, I think.
Greta, you know Monsieur Poirot has asked me to help him investigate the murder.
Yeah, I have heard this. It is satisfactory with you?
Very. Will you help me?
I will try.
May I have your passport, please?
It is here.
Greta
Sigrid Olsen, 49 of Stockholm.
Of course, I am a missionary now. Nurse at the school in Gemlik, and not much in Sweden.
You gave Mrs. Hubbard a headache powder last night?
Yeah, poor lady with the pain in the head.
That was around 10:40, I believe.
I am not sure.
Did you leave this compartment again after helping Monsieur Poirot?
His ankle is not so very injured, you know. I looked at it again this morning. I think he is not as brave as some of my little children.
Nice.
After Monsieur Poirot.
I woke several times, of course, but it is because you were peeking out and leaving the compartment, not I.
After that?
When you finally settled down. No, I was very tired from all the activity. I slept. If I had gone out, would you not have noticed?
I slept.
I'm not sure. You were here in the lower berth.
I slept until the morning.
I thought you slept.
I slept soundly enough that you might have gone out again. I do not know about that, but I myself was sleeping.
Sleeping?
Your dressing gown is brown, is it not?
Yeah, you have seen it for yourself. Very comfortable, of Jaeger wool.
We all wear dressing gowns.
Did you see anyone in the corridor when you took Mrs. Hubbard the medicine?
Not in the corridor, no.
Somewhere else?
I opened the door to the dead man's compartment by mistake. Mr. Ratchet, I was much ashamed.
What did you and Mrs. Hubbard talk about?
The pain in her head. It started at the back and sweep itself
I love her German
over
accent.
her eyes and...
Anything else?
She asked me if the door between her compartment and Mr. Ratchet's is locked. I check it for her.
And?
It is locked.
Schlocked.
Did you actually see him?
Yeah, in his bed he was, reading a book.
Did he say anything to you?
He laughed. He invited me. I do not care to repeat what he said. It inflamed my cheeks. I left at once, naturally.
He invited me to touch his penis.
That means you were the last person to see Monsieur Ratchet alive.
I am suspected of all the people aboard the train. I am suspected.
Have you ever been in America?
No. Almost I go once. I was to
Conjugal.
accompany an invalid lady, but it was cancelled. I much regret it. They are very generous, the Americans. They give much money to schools and hospitals, and they are very practical.
Oh my god, Americans are so good.
Do you remember hearing of the Armstrong kidnapping case?
No. What was that?
A little girl was kidnapped and murdered. Her mother and an unborn child died in childbirth. A member of the staff committed suicide. Monsieur Ratchet was the man behind the kidnapping.
That there are in the world such evil men. It tries one's faith. The poor mother. My heart aches for her.
Thank you, Mademoiselle Olsen.
I'll be taking this. This is Greta Olsen's Bible. It looks well used. I placed the relevant passages in my scrapbook. Alright. Yeah, not much is changing on our timeline, but we're getting all the interviews done. Alright. Check this out, I'm gonna kill her.
Mille pardon, mademoiselle.
Yes, Fräulein. Frau Schmidt, I am helping Monsieur Poirot in the investigation of Monsieur Ratchet's death. Will you assist me?
If I can.
May I have your passport?
Yeah, here it is.
Hildegard
you are
Schmidt.
Hildegard Schmidt, aged 43, living in St. Petersburg.
Where I attend Madame la Princesse, yeah.
What can you tell me of your movements last
Look at
night
her dress,
after dinner?
like, down
I
here.
moved very little. I read to the princess Bleak
That's not-
House by
that's
the
not
English
a
writer
good
Charles
pattern.
Dickens. The sudden stopping of the train interrupted us. Madame la Princesse luckily was not harmed. I returned to reading. I do not read aloud very well, but Her Excellency says that it is all the better. So it sends her better to sleep. When she
Sleep?
became sleepy, she told me to go.
Sleepy.
I returned to the compartment I share with Fräulein Debenham.
What time was that?
It was very late. 1:30 or more.
Tell me about Mary Debenham.
She is a very agreeable young lady. She was already asleep when I came in after reading to Her Excellency.
What color is Mademoiselle Debenham's dressing gown?
It is a pale purple. Mauve, I believe the English say.
Did Mademoiselle Debenham leave the room at all last night?
Not after I returned. I sleep lightly, Fräulein. You understand? Should Her Excellency require me.
Have you ever been to America?
No, never. I should like to go someday.
Do you know who this man Ratchet really was?
He was not Ratchet?
His name was Cassetti. He was responsible for the death of a small child named Daisy Armstrong.
My God! I have heard of that. The kidnapping. It was wicked. Wicked! We are not so wicked as that in Germany.
Is this your handkerchief, Frau Schmidt?
No, it is not mine.
It has the letter H, you see.
Ah, but it is a lady's handkerchief, that. A very expensive, cambric handkerchief, embroidered by hand. It comes from Paris, I should say.
Did you see anyone as you returned to your compartment?
Only an attendant.
He was sitting at the end of the corridor.
No, Fräulein. He came out of one of the compartments.
No,
in the middle.
Fräulein.
2 or 3 doors from Madame la Princesse.
What does Fräulein mean?
Was it Mrs. Hubbard's compartment?
It may have been.
But I saw him come out. You weren't in the corridor.
I most certainly was. He nearly ran into me, apologized, and hurried off in the direction of the salon car. A bell began ringing, but I do not think he answered it.
Then the bell started ringing?
Yes, Fräulein.
Yes, Fräulein. The attendant was Michel.
The attendant was Michel.
Our regular attendant.
No, Fräulein.
What? What did he look like?
Small, dark. He had a little mustache. His voice, when he said "pardon," was weak and high-pitched. Higher than mine. I'd never seen him before.
That will do for now,
That sounds like
Schmidt.
Poirot, right? I'll be taking this. Mary Hermione Debenham. I gotta look at these passports. Alright, I got a lot of them. Fräulein is young unmarried woman? Damn.
Nothing else. I won't find.
What's up, Fräulein? All right, we're doing some investigating. McQueen, you're up. I'll be looking at this.
I'll put this into my scrapbook so
Thought you'd double-cross us and get away with it, did you? Not on your life. We're out to get you, Ratchet. And we will get you. This looks like a lot of different people wrote it. Or, you know, like, as if they had cut letters out of a magazine to make it. And then this is the second threatening letter. We're going to take you for a ride, Ratchet. Sometime soon. We're going to get you, see? Right. So, Revelation 13:18 was written in somebody's hat, and it is, "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right. Chatty letter, already read it. Torn letter, already read it. Right? Uniform in Belgrade Station washroom. Passkey in the pocket. Lots of rooms in the Athens-Paris coach will be empty. Hide in one of them until broad. It's about the time the dirty rat got what's coming to him." And then that marks the R is where Ratchet's coach was supposed to be, right? Like 1, 2, I think. Let's see, we got the coach. There we go. Number 9 is Poirot, and number 10 is Ratchet. So I think that's right. Ratchet was listed as number 10. Alright, Fräulein.
I see nothing.
Get out of the closet, girl. I was doing all of that just behind this dude's back. La-da-dee, la-da-da.
Good idea, but I won't find. I've already.
Just searching his shit. Smooth out the old dress.
Say, this is mighty nice. What can I do for you?
My name is Antoinette Marceau. I'm assisting Monsieur Poirot with his investigation. You know the name, perhaps?
It does seem familiar, only I always thought it was a dressmaker.
Monsieur, for all our sakes, please do not repeat that in front of Monsieur Poirot. Do you promise me?
I think I just about promised you anything. Oh, darn it, there I go, sounding like Mr. Ratchet. You had enough of him, I expect, at the market in Istanbul. I didn't mean anything by it except, well, except it's the truth. I love your accent. A little bit of British, a little bit of French, a lot of heaven. Darn it, there I go again.
It is not a problem, Monsieur, but we must be serious now, don't you agree?
Serious, yes. Yes, of course.
You are Monsieur Ratchet's secretary?
Yes, for just over a year now. I met him in Persia. I'd come over from New York to look into an oil concession. I don't suppose you want to hear all about that. Getting oil out of Persia can get pretty difficult these days. Anyway, my friends and I had been let in rather badly over it. Mr. Ratchet was in the same hotel. He just had a row with his secretary, so he offered me the job. He was collecting antiquities, but not knowing any languages, was having kind of a hard time of it. I was pretty down and out, so I jumped at it.
What can you tell me about Monsieur Ratchet?
The actual truth is, Miss Marceau, it is Miss, isn't it?
Ooh,
wait, don't
boy.
have to answer. None of my business. The truth is, I don't know anything about him. He never spoke of himself or his life in America.
May I have your passport, please?
Sure. Here you go.
What is your full name, age, and address?
Hector Willard McQueen. I'm 28. You're about what? 24, 25?
Ooh, boy, you better
Your
stop.
address, Monsieur McQueen?
That's right, Hector. Always saying the wrong thing. That's me. I live at 58 Warren Street, New York.
You must have formed some theory about him, Monsieur McQueen.
Well, yes, I did. For one thing, I don't believe Ratchet was his real name. I think he left America in order to escape from someone or something. I think he was successful until a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, what happened then?
He began to get letters, threatening letters.
The portrayal of Americans in this. Yeah, it's, I mean, it's written by a British person, so this is how we look.
Did you see these threatening letters?
Yes, it was part of my job to attend to his correspondence.
Do you still have the letters?
I've still got a couple in my files.
How did Monsieur Ratchet act when he received the first letter?
It's difficult to say. He passed it off with a laugh in that quiet way of his. Somehow...
Wait, when did he get the
felt
letters?
That there was a good deal going on underneath the quietness.
Oh, well.
Did you know that Monsieur Ratchet had asked Monsieur Poirot to help him?
No, I had no idea.
I thought he was a dag-nab dressmaker.
Did you like your employer?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I can't exactly say. He was usually quite pleasant in his manner. I'll tell you the truth. Antoinette, sorry, Miss Marceau. I disliked and distrusted him. He was, I am sure, a cruel and dangerous man.
He said a couple of weeks ago? Okay.
Were you on good terms with your employer?
This is where I'm supposed to go all goose-fleshy and shifty-eyed, right? Like some thriller? You got nothing on me! And so on? Yeah, sorry, but Ratchet and I were on perfectly good terms.
When did you last see Monsieur Ratchet alive?
Last evening about 10 o'clock, I guess. Masterman fetched me. Mr. Ratchet wanted me to take down some memoranda for him.
On what subject?
Some pottery he'd bought, and a statue we were bringing back to Paris with us. It's in the baggage car.
Monsieur McQueen, you are correct. Ratchet was an alias.
I knew it! Who was he?
He was Cassetti, the man behind several notorious kidnapping cases, including the famous affair of little Daisy Armstrong.
That damn skunk! If I'd known that, I'd have cut off my right hand before I'd write another letter for him. May he burn in hell.
I didn't mean to upset you.
I have reason to be upset. My father was the district attorney who handled the case. I saw Mrs. Armstrong more than once. She was a lovely woman, so gentle and heartbroken. If ever a man deserved what he got, Cassetti's the guy. I'm rejoicing. A man like that wasn't fit to live.
You almost feel you could have murdered him yourself?
I do. Seems I'm kind of incriminating myself here.
Kind of a coincidence that all of these people are on the same train. Like, New York, America's a huge country. New York is a big city. And it's like, oh yeah, no, those people could all be in the same place at the same time.
Can you describe your movements last night?
Let's see. I fell into conversation with that Englishman, Colonel Arbuthnot. Then I went to take down some memoranda for letters Mr. Ratchet wanted written, like I told you. When I came out, the Colonel was down the hall waiting while the attendant made up his bed. He came along back to my room here, and we discussed world politics. The government of India, the Wall Street crisis. I don't, as a rule, cotton much to Britishers. They're a stiff-necked lot. But Arbuthnot is all right.
Did you hear or see anyone in the corridor while you were talking?
Let's see. Yes. The attendant passed along once from the direction of the restaurant car. I caught a glimpse of his uniform. Then I do remember some woman in a silk, scarlet something or other. Again, just a glimpse. She was headed the other way, towards the restaurant car.
Did you see her return?
No. Now that you mention it, I don't think I did. But I suppose she must have.
What time was it that the Colonel left you?
Pretty late. Getting on for 2 o'clock, I'd say.
You were together when the train stopped.
Yeah, shook me up a bit. But the Colonel was as cool as ice water. He's been in some tough scrapes, I'd guess. A near train wreck didn't even make him blink.
What happened after Colonel Arbuthnot said goodnight?
I called the attendant to make up my bed, and then hit the sack.
What sack did you hit, and why?
I went to bed. Slept till morning.
Do you smoke a pipe, Monsieur McQueen?
Nope. Don't smoke at all, as a matter of fact. I know they say it's healthy, but I don't believe them.
What?
During the evening, did you leave the train at all?
Only when Arbuthnot and I got out at Belgrade to stretch our legs. When we saw you. But it was bitterly cold, so we hopped back on again.
Which door did you use?
The one closest to here.
Do you remember if the door you used was bolted?
Yes, I seem to remember it was. At least there was a kind of bar that fitted across the handle.
Did you replace the bar when you returned to the train?
You know, I don't think I did. I remember now. I left it unbolted for you. Say, listen, since we know that Ratchet was really that swine Cassetti, there's something you should know.
Yes?
One night, late, after he'd received those threatening letters, I heard him working at my typewriter. He never did that. He always dictated his letters to me. From then on, wherever we were, he insisted on access to the safe. Whatever that document was, it was important enough that he traveled with it wherever we went. If there wasn't a safe available, he had one installed. I know for a fact he had one installed in the security room in the baggage car. I saw it when we were loading his crate.
That's where I gotta go.
Do you have the combination?
If he didn't trust me to type it for him, you really think he'd give me the combination?
Au revoir, monsieur. I won't find anything else in there.
Let's stab him.
I won't do that.
Aw. You're no fun.
Regardez, mademoiselle.
A well-worn copy of Love's Captive. This book is stamped on the back side of the cover. It reads, Royal Military Library, Twickenham.
Nothing else.
Et voilà.
Et voilà.
Already.
This is a chauffeur's license issued by the state of New York in 1923. It appears to be valid.
Yes, miss?
Monsieur Masterman?
Yes.
My name is Antoinette Marceau. I'm assisting Monsieur Poirot in his inquiries.
Yes, the attendant has explained that to me. The service is quite good, I must say. I prize good service highly, of course. My compliments.
Thank you. I would like to ask you some questions.
Yes, I expect you would. I shall help in any way I can.
Let's go ahead with the
May
passport.
I have your passport, please?
Of course. Here you are.
Your full name, age, and address.
Edward Henry Masterman, 51. 21 Friar Street, Clerkenwell.
You are the valet of Monsieur Ratchet.
Yes.
When did you last see Monsieur Ratchet?
Must have been about 9:35 or 9:40 last night, miss.
Can you tell me what happened when you saw Monsieur Ratchet?
I went into Mr. Ratchet as usual, miss, and attended to his wants.
What were your duties exactly?
To fold or hang up his clothes, miss. Put his dental plate in water and see that he had everything he needed.
About that dental plate, I loaned it to the engineer. Is that okay?
Was his manner the same as usual?
Well, miss, I think he was upset.
In what way upset?
Over a letter he'd been reading. He asked me if it was I who had put it in his compartment. Of course, I told him I hadn't done any such thing, but he swore at me and found fault with everything I did.
Did your master ever take a sleeping draft?
Always when traveling by train, miss.
I wish I had a
He said he couldn't
cigarette.
sleep
Not that I'd
otherwise.
smoke it, but
Even
it
the
looks good.
express affected him, I am sorry to say.
Did he take it last night?
I poured it into a glass and put it on the table for him, though I didn't actually see him drink it.
Was it unusual for him to swear at you?
Oh no, miss. He lost his temper easily. It just depended what had happened to upset him.
Do you know what drug he was in the habit of taking?
I couldn't say I'm sure, miss. There's no name on the bottle. Just sleeping draft, and to be taken at bedtime.
When was his usual bedtime, when aboard the train?
Midnight, miss, or later. With the avalanche last night, I fancy he wouldn't fall asleep until closer to 1.
Did you mix his usual dose of the sleeping draught?
A half dose only, miss, at Mr. Ratchet's request. I can't say the reason.
What happened next?
I asked him if there was anything else he required. He asked me to send for Mr. McQueen. Then I left him.
Was Monsieur Ratchet an early riser?
It depended, miss, upon his mood. Sometimes he'd get up for breakfast. Sometimes he wouldn't get up till just on lunchtime. I would wait until the attendant came to collect me.
Did you know that your master had enemies?
Yes, miss. I had heard him discussing some disquieting letters with Mr. McQueen.
Did you like your employer, Masterman?
I should hardly like to say that, miss. He was a generous employer.
But you didn't like him.
Shall we put it that I don't care very much for Americans, miss?
Do you know of any bad blood between your master and Monsieur McQueen?
No, no, miss. Mr. McQueen was a very pleasant gentleman. For an American.
How long have you been with Monsieur Ratchet?
Just over 9 months, miss. Before that, I was with Sir Henry Tomlinson in Grosvenor Square. I was with him for several years before he left for East Africa.
Ah, Tomlinson, that's
Have
the
you
link.
ever been in America?
No, miss.
Do you remember the Armstrong kidnapping case?
Well, yes, I remember reading something about it. A little baby girl, wasn't it?
How,
Very shocking.
how do they think everyone in America knows about this
Your
one murder
employer,
case?
Monsieur Ratchet, was the man behind the kidnapping.
I'm at a loss for words, miss.
Must have been
I
like
can hardly believe
a
it.
George Floyd thing.
Are you a pipe smoker?
No, miss. I only smoke cigarettes. Gaspers, miss.
Why is it anti-American? I don't think it's anti-American. I just think it's like... It's kind of like... it's almost like they're... like Agatha Christie wrote this before she really knew what America was like. I don't know. It seems like America is getting treated like it's a small ass country, where America basically is just New York.
What did you do after leaving your master?
I told Mr. McQueen, miss, that the master wanted him. Then I came along here to my compartment and read. I was in bed by 10:30.
And I guess that happens a lot with Americans.
Italian
Like, we
fella.
think England is just
A kind
London.
of English, miss. He's been in America. Chicago, I understand. He was in here playing cards with another American, a Mr. Hardman. The game broke up soon after I entered, and Mr. Hardman left.
Do you and the Italian gentleman talk together much?
No, miss. I prefer to read. At present, I'm quite enjoying Love's Captive by a Mrs. Arabella Richardson.
Does this
About
game
10:30,
complement the book
Italian
well?
fellow
I think
wanted to
this
go to
game
bed,
is better than
so
the book.
attendant came in and made the beds up.
Did you go to bed then?
I went to bed, but I didn't sleep, miss. I had a toothache.
There's really that great... There's no great scene in the book where you find a gun, take it outside, shoot at a wolf, go into a hut. Like, all that shit's pretty cool. And it's like... It's really adding some backstory and mystery to the whole thing. The book itself is kind of like a bottle. You know, it's like it all takes place on the train. I think they leave the train for a second, but it's like a pressure cooker.
I am so sorry. Was your toothache painful?
Most painful, miss. I applied some oil of cloves, which relieved the pain a little, but I still was not able to get to sleep. I turned the light on over my berth and continued to read, to take my mind off of it, as it were.
You did not sleep at all?
I finally dropped off about 4 this morning.
Did the Italian gentleman sleep?
Him? Oh, he snored. I confess I envied Mr. Ratchet his sleeping draught, miss.
Did your companion leave the compartment at all during the night?
No, miss.
Did you leave the compartment at all?
No, miss.
Did you hear anything during the night?
I don't think so, miss. The train being at a standstill made it all very quiet.
Au revoir, monsieur.
How did you not hear the loud-ass bell, my bro? I'm gonna lick his leg.
If I think of anything else that might help your inquiries, I promise to let you know.
Yeah, the book itself is super confusing, and it's one of the few mysteries that Poirot doesn't have a clear answer for. And I feel like it's so weird that they made a game out of it. It's so weird that it was one of Agatha Christie's most popular books. But it's also, you know, this is telling the story very well. And I don't know how it appears when you're watching me play it, but already knowing the plot of the book, I feel like this is a refreshing recap of the story, and hopefully the conclusion, hopefully when I interview Poirot, what I think will happen, and I'll do that when I get back. I gotta go to the bathroom. If there was another Agatha Christie point and click, I would do it. Hopefully ABC Murders, like, that's one of the best. Alright, let's look at the list of people. I gotta collect a lot more passports. Was that the last room?
It's locked.
Please.
Monsieur Foscarelli.
Ah, Signorina! I have been told you aid the great Hercule Poirot in his investigations. I will help you in any way I can.
The Italian guy.
May I have your passport, please?
Of course, of course. Here you are.
That sounded familiar.
You are Antonio Foscarelli. I see here you are a naturalized American citizen.
Yes, Signorina. It is better for my business. I am, as you can see, a salesman of motor cars. I do big business. I am up to date. I understand salesmanship.
What do you smoke? A pipe, cigarettes, cigars?
Cigarettes only.
You travel frequently to and from the United States?
Yes, for the past 10 years or so.
Did you ever come across Monsieur Ratchet?
Never, but I know the type. Oh, yes. It is very respectable, very well dressed, but underneath it is all wrong. I should say he was a big crook. I give you my opinion for what it is worth.
Your opinion is quite right. Monsieur Ratchet was Cassetti, the kidnapper.
What did I tell you?
What did I tell you?
It is
You have to learn to read the face.
Only in America do they teach you the proper way to sell.
This guy's actually the voice of this guy. They got the guy who does Mario's voice to do this voice.
Please tell me your movements last night after dinner.
With pleasure. I stay here in the salon car for a while. It is more amusing. I play cards with the American gentleman who sells the typewriter ribbons. We talk shop. Afterwards, we retire to my compartment and play the cards some more. And talk more shop. That one, though, he is not the salesman Foscarelli is, I can tell you.
Do you remember the Armstrong case?
I do not quite remember, but yes. The name, it was a little girl, was it not?
A baby.
A baby.
Una
Una bambina.
Yes.
Ah, well, these things, they happen, even in a great country like America.
Have you ever come across any members of the Armstrong family?
It is difficult to say. I see so many people, you understand. I'll give you some figures. Last year alone, I sold...
Please, monsieur, confine yourself to the point.
My brother Luigi.
With great pleasure.
What time did you go to your compartment?
Oh, it was early. 8:30 or so.
What time did you stop playing cards in your room?
Not yet 10 o'clock. That stuffed shirt of a valet who shares the compartment with me came back from attending his master. A miserable people, the English. Not sympathetic. He sits in the corner, very stiff, reading a book. Mr. Hardman and I, we lose our taste for the cards, and Mr. Hardman, he goes off to his own room. The attendant makes up our beds.
What time did you go to bed?
I lay on my bunk for a while.
And then there were none.
The Englishman has,
An Evil Under the Sun,
the
or the other two by this publisher.
He gets out a little
All right.
bottle of
And then there were
that
none
smells very strong.
is one of the best
Bones and
Agatha
groans.
Christie books.
I drop off around 10:30. Whenever I wake, I hear him groaning.
Do you know if Monsieur Masterman left the room at all during the night?
I do not think so. If the door opened, the light from the corridor, one wakes up automatically thinking it is the customs examination at some frontier.
Did Monsieur Masterman ever speak of his master?
I tell you, he did not speak. even to introduce himself. He was not as sympathetic, a fish.
Thank you, Monsieur Foscarelli.
Not now, Signorina. I promise you I will talk to you.
He's like looking straight ahead but talking to me.
Not now, Signorina. Signorina. I promise you, Signorina.
Alright, alright. Talk to him, talk to her. Here's Candace Bergen again. Let's talk to this guy.
May I have your passport, please?
Oui, mademoiselle. You will find it in room 1-2 in the Athens Paris coach.
What can you tell me of your movements after dinner?
I came in here to attend to the bar after everyone went to their rooms. I cleaned the salon car and went to the Athens Paris coach to rest.
What time was that?
I closed the bar at midnight, so it would be a few minutes after that.
Did you see or hear anything unusual last night?
No, mademoiselle. The Athens Paris coach was very quiet. And of course, the door leading to the Calais coach is locked. One can pass through only if Pierre Michel or Matteo opens it for him.
What do you know of Klaus, the chef?
An artiste de la cuisine, and just as temperamental as a painter. Vous comprenez? No one is allowed to enter his kitchen.
His menu seems to overemphasize meat dishes.
It is true that. They call him Le Boucher, but not to his face, of course.
The butcher. It suits him. Klaus seems even more temperamental than usual today.
I fear an approaching catastrophe, mademoiselle.
Worse than avalanches and murder?
Certainement. Special dinner menus, as you no doubt know, are printed in advance of our departure in Istanbul. Here is tonight's menu. As you can see, tonight he is to serve Wiener Schnitzel and Eldafe Salat, native dishes of Austria, in honor of the Count and Countess Andreni.
Veal and potatoes. Why does this not surprise me?
But so many have asked for the salads, almost in defiance of Chef Klaus, and the porters have failed to put aboard enough vinegar and olive oil for the Eldafe Salat.
I have that.
Klaus is in a rage. The embarrassment
I have
will be
that.
too much for him.
I can get that for Klaus.
What do you know of Klaus's movements last night?
As usual, he stayed in his precious kitchen, preparing his pastries and sauces for the next day's meals. He passed through the salon car a few minutes before midnight in a rage because one of the steak knives is missing. Passengers will take anything as a souvenir if it is not bolted down. Why, the things that have gone missing on this trip would astound you.
But perhaps they were not all taken as souvenirs. Perhaps some person, in order to do good, borrowed them?
Mademoiselle, forgive me, but I do not understand what you are talking about.
I took
Let
them.
it pass. What did Klaus do after he entered the salon car?
Nothing. We went together to the Athens Paris coach.
Do you know Monsieur Ratchet was killed with a knife?
I had heard this, oui, but why? You think Klaus may have stabbed him?
A chef that temperamental? If someone was to criticize his masterpieces?
Mais non, mademoiselle. C'est très absurd. Klaus would not stab anyone. Not with a knife. He would hack them into little medallions with his cleaver.
Good day, monsieur.
I mean, that was a fair assessment. I'm gonna check out the menu. Wiener Schnitzel and Eldafe Salat in honor of the Count and Countess Andreni. Alright, so I'm gonna go to the Paris coach and get his passport. Room 1-2. Let's check the closet.
I can't see any.
There's a modern ABC Murders game on Steam as well, so there are options. Alright. This could be my thing. So yeah, this lady's, the lady that you're playing as is not really a central character to the movie at all, or to the book at all. But obviously, you're not allowed to play as Poirot. You'd be way OP if you were Poirot.
Nothing of
Like, if they made me
enjoy
Poirot, I would just have already solved this mystery. She's a mere mortal. Where the fuck is Klaus? Let's smooth that dress down.
I've already...
Alright, Klaus is not here.
Nothing to see.
Alright, let's go back to the chalet car, or the salon car. Oh, maybe I have more to ask him now that I have his passport.
Excuse me, please, mademoiselle.
Nope, nothing. Alright, let's see. I talked to Murphy Brown. I talked to this guy, right? Old Ascot.
Count Andrigny, I am acting on behalf of Monsieur Hercule Poirot in this matter. May I speak with you?
I quite understand your position. I will do anything I can to assist you.
May I have your passport, please?
Yes, certainly.
Rudolph Joseph Andrigny, aged 34. A diplomatic passport.
Wait. Why does he have two people on it?
I am in the Hungarian consular service.
Wife, Elena Maria Andrigny. Age 20?
Yes, we have only been married a year.
Yes, I'm a
Aged
20-year-old.
Thank you. Are you aware of the identity of the deceased, monsieur?
If you want to know his name, surely it is in his passport.
The name on his passport is Ratchet. That is not his real name. He is in fact Cassetti, who was responsible for the kidnapping and death of a child in America.
Ah, that certainly should throw light upon the matter.
Have you been to America, Monsieur Lecomte?
Yes, I was in Washington for a year. Extraordinary country.
Did you know the Armstrong family?
The kidnapped victims.
Yes.
Armstrong. It is difficult to recall. So many diplomatic functions. So many hands to shake. I cannot recall. I'm sorry.
Can you tell me how you spent the evening after dinner last night?
We had my wife's compartment made up while we were at dinner. On returning, we sat up in mine playing piquet. At about 11 o'clock, my wife retired for the night. The attendant made up my compartment, and I also went to bed.
The sudden stop of the train awakened you?
Naturally. I learned from the attendant of the avalanche, then went into my wife and comforted her.
When did you return to your own compartment?
Well, I didn't, actually. That is to say, I did not like to leave my wife alone after the shock. We passed the remainder of the night together.
Other than the train stopping, did you notice anything unusual?
No, I don't think so. I dropped off to sleep sometime before 2 a.m. and slept through until this morning.
You didn't hear the commotion in the compartment next to yours? The American lady who occupies it had quite an attack of hysterics and rang repeatedly for the attendant.
When was this?
At approximately 1:15.
No, I'm afraid I didn't notice.
Do you smoke, Monsieur Lecomte?
The occasional cigar only. They are always offered to me, you understand, but I do not much like them.
Merci, Monsieur Lecomte. Countess, may I ask you some questions regarding the death of Monsieur Ratchet?
I'm not sure what I can do to help, but I'll try.
Have you been to America?
No, mademoiselle. My husband was posted there. Diplomatic duties. But we were not married then.
What is the color of your dressing gown?
Why do you ask me that?
Detectives have to ask all sorts of questions. Forgive me.
It is yellow. Corn-colored chiffon. Are you really a detective, mademoiselle? I was told you worked for the railway.
Well, I'm assisting a detective. That's what I meant.
Is he a Yugoslavian detective?
I think he would tell you he belongs to the world, madame. When did you fall asleep last night?
Soon after 1 o'clock, I believe.
Did you hear or see anything unusual last evening?
After the train stopped?
Yes.
No, I don't think so.
You didn't hear Mrs. Hubbard ringing her bell and calling out at around 1:15?
No, it would be very unlikely if I did. I'm sorry.
Au revoir, Madame la Comtesse.
Alright, alright. Let me look at this double passport. I don't think I talked to her yet.
I'm sorry to disturb you.
Not at all. As you can see, I'm not exactly occupied at the moment. And I do know you're helping that funny little Belgian detective. What can I do for you?
Belgian. You got it right. Where's your passport?
Your full name, permanent address, and age, please.
Mary Hermione Debenham.
Oh, I already have
32.
your passport.
I'm between permanent addresses at the moment.
What can you tell me of the murder last night?
I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. I went to bed and slept.
You seem very at ease. Are you not distressed by what has happened?
Distressed? I have not really thought about it from that point of view. No, I cannot say that I am at all distressed. After all, people die every day.
They die, yes, but murder is thankfully a little more rare. Were you acquainted with Monsieur Ratchet?
I saw him for the first time at dinner last night. Oh, I suppose at the station, perhaps. I don't recall.
How did he strike you?
I hardly noticed him.
He did not strike you as an evil personality?
Really, I cannot say I thought about it. Whether or not I liked Mr. Ratchet's face does not seem to be helpful in finding out who killed him.
Do you know who Monsieur Ratchet really was?
Haven't a clue. Who was he?
Cassetti, the man behind the Armstrong kidnapping.
That was quite abominable.
Where did you begin your journey?
Baghdad.
What were you doing there?
I have been acting as governess to 2 children.
What is your final destination?
London. I'm giving up on Baghdad. Not much happens there. I'm hoping to find a suitable post in London.
Baghdad's in Iraq, right?
What can you tell me about Mademoiselle Schmidt?
She's a nearly perfect traveling companion. Quiet, polite, thinks the world of her princess.
What is the color of her dressing gown?
Her dressing gown? It's dark blue. Flannel.
Did Mademoiselle Schmidt leave your compartment at any time during the night?
She was with the princess, reading, I believe, until quite late. I awoke when she returned.
Baghdad really blew up after she moved.
For such long hours and
should have stuck around.
It was 12:38.
Lol.
How well do you know Colonel Arbuthnot?
That's a very impertinent question, and I'll not answer it.
That will do for now, mademoiselle.
Good. So we still haven't found out this bit about the pink kimono. The pink kimono seems to be like something that would lead us to the murderer. Where's Klaus at?
What they say about the chef is true. This buffet is a carnival's dream.
What? Eggs? Bacon?
Very appetizing in other... I just don't... Sterling silver, of course.
What did I just
These
take?
menu cards are perfect for collecting fingerprints. Sterling silver. What they say about the chef is true. Very appetizing. What they say ab-
Alright. A silver butter knife. The entire handle is wood. These are blank menu cards with the logo embossed upon them. The cards are blanked on both sides. Okay, where's Klaus? He's in the bathroom?
I have the olive oil and vinegar
here
you
he
need
is.
for tonight's meal.
Let me see them. Yeah, this olive oil is fresh enough and of sufficient quality.
Wait, why was it bright
The quality
green?
of this vinegar will have to do, but there is not nearly enough. Tell me at once where you found it.
In the baggage car.
There must be far more vinegar for the authentic Elderfeld salad. I will get it myself.
Alright, Klaus. Damn.
Perfect.
Perfect. I'll be yoink. This is the high quality meat cleaver Klaus bought at the bazaar. I'm quite certain this cleaver could cut through almost anything.
This is neither the time nor the place. Loaves of bread.
La da dee, la da da.
I'd better close.
Wait, what did I just take? Orange juice. I shouldn't drink it, but perhaps I could find another use for it.
I'd better... Loaves of bread. I believe they are sacks of flour, good for thickening sauces. And judging by last night's sauce, Klaus will get through both sacks before the trip is through.
What am I doing? A bowl full of cake batter? Smells quite good. I'm surprised there isn't meat in it.
Such a cramped kitchen. I can't imagine how Klaus puts up with it.
He's gonna
Such
be
a
pissed that I took
such a cramp.
his shit.
An empty bottle of olive oil, and one that looks like it contained vinegar. An empty bottle...
Yeah, I know how I got in here.
Such a...
Alright. None of the drawers work. I don't know why I got cake batter and... orange juice. Now you gotta go back and fingerprint the passengers, ruining dinner. Oh yeah, ruining dinner. Where's Klaus? I think I have the key to this car, so I might as well.
I would like to fingerprint you.
Ugh, fine. Do as you must.
Got it. Okay.
It's the cargo manifest.
Can I fingerprint it? Oh, I see. So once I get everyone's fingerprints, then I can probably go back and like compare their fingerprints to the shit that's all over the train.
This seems to...
Let's put some cake batter on.
The good detective...
Now I've got a key for this, right?
That key doesn't... That
key doesn't fit the lock.
Oh, okay. Can I put the button back on this suit?
This doesn't seem to work.
Alright, let's go back and get everybody's fucking fingerprints. Wait, do I need to talk to him some more?
Leave me be.
Alright, Klaus. La-da-dee, la-da-da. There's nobody in the restaurant.
Something has occurred. I'd like to take... How very enterprise. I have some typewriter ribbon. Splendid. This is all rather exciting.
Got it.
Au revoir, Mademoiselle Debenham. Hello. I'd like to...
Whatever you...
They should put theirs on the same card.
That will do for... I'd like to talk to you. May I take... Yes.
I kind of wish I had had the fingerprint cards first.
That will do.
But whatever. Let's smooth out the old dress. This scene right here seems to bog the game down.
Have you enjoyed
I would like to fingerprint you.
What do you have there?
That was my intent.
And how do you plan to clean that mess?
I have something to clean.
Cocktail napkins? Good gracious, sweetie.
I appreciate your cooperation.
Oh, so she wouldn't do it unless I had all these items. So it's good that I'm just like hoarding items. And it's good that there's no item limit.
Something has occurred. I would like to take you.
I see.
Alright.
Good day, monsieur.
Good day, monsieur.
Hello. I would like to take...
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course. Let's go.
Good day.
See here, what...
I will take...
Will you?
You're really gonna solve this murder. Oh wait, that's that's a bathroom.
Oh, enough? I'd like to take...
That's a rather...
Yes, I...
Napkins?
Thank you.
I've got all the items that
That will
I
be
need.
enough.
I just need everyone's fingerprints before I start investigating. But also I need to talk to Poirot, which I do believe is he's going to drop a bombshell.
I'm sorry. I would like to take...
Would you really? Of course.
Good day to you, monsieur.
But I also don't want him to like try to interfere with my investigation. I've got it
Before
going
I
on
go,
right now. But
I would like
I'll
to
save it
fingerprint
before
you,
I talk to him.
if you must. Thank you, Matt. I'd like to... I would like... What? Nothing. It's... Oh. Thank you.
save it.
Monsieur Poirot. And that is everything I have discovered so far.
We progress, mademoiselle. Now, let us see what we can learn.
Good day to you, Monsieur Poirot. I can't do...
Alright. I can't get in his bags, so I'm gonna keep going. Get all these fingerprints, and then I'll talk to him. Oh.
Better to let the...
Should I fingerprint him?
Before I regret...
Dear me.
I have some paper...
Thank you.
Thank you.
They really need to wipe their fingers off. Alright, hard man. Oh, already did that. Now, what's your...
I found this...
I have lost no button, mademoiselle. There must be some mistake.
Then perhaps it was dropped by the man she said was in her room.
There was no one there. The lady must have imagined it.
I need to ask you some questions about Monsieur Ratchet's death.
But of course, Mademoiselle Marceau. I will do anything I can.
Dang, I've been swamped with work and forgot about the stream. I'll have to go back and watch the VOD. Gotta see her rubber tummy. Yeah, she's gotta really smooth out that dress.
When was the body discovered?
Made some mad progress
The
today.
valet of Monsieur Rachet, he tapped several times at the door this morning. There was no answer. Then, half an hour ago, Lucien, the waiter, came. He wanted to know if Monsieur was taking déjeuner.
Good to see you,
11
Dusa.
o'clock, he
Hope the work's not too much.
Continue.
I opened the door for him with my pass key. But there is a chain, too, and that is fastened. There is no answer, and it is very still in there, and so cold. The window open, I borrow the engineer's hammer, and break the chain, and go in. Monsieur Rachet was... oh, it was terrible. The chain was fastened. It must have been suicide?
I'm sorry,
It's
Michelle.
alright, I took
A
last
person
week off
does
for
not
my
commit
birthday, so it's
suicide
just
by
catching up
stabbing himself
on
12
a lot of
times.
nonsense.
No.
Well, happy birthday.
I suppose not.
How old are you? You don't have to tell me. Just hold up your fingers and I'll see that. Yeah, so there was a lot of train-related mystery. I just now got some the ability to fingerprint people. So now I'm like trying to get everyone's fingerprints and passports. Last year, my 30s. Oh, yeah, I turned 40 in September.
Did anyone call for you last night after we spoke?
Yes, I made up the bed of the young American gentleman, Mr. Rachet's secretary.
At what time?
It must have been about a half hour later.
1:45.
About that, yes. The English colonel from number 15 was with him. The colonel went back to his own compartment as I prepared the American gentleman's bed.
I feel like there's a lot of pressure to do something before I turn 40. Like,
Did you
everyone's
see
like,
anyone
you gotta
moving
take a
about
trip,
last
you gotta
night
do a
after we
thing.
spoke?
And I've thought
The
about
English
it.
colonel
It
returned
sounds
to his
appealing,
compartment,
but I'm...
No one after that.
I don't know. I guess there's like this brotherhood of all humanity where everyone who has ever turned 40 is like, you need to do something big, bro. And I get it, because you're only 40 once. and you only get the excuse to, like, it's a perfect excuse to do something very selfish.
Did
So
you leave
I need
the
to
car
start
at any
thinking
time
more
last
selfishly.
night after Belgrade?
Well, I did go back to talk to Matteo, the attendant in the Athens-Paris car.
When was that?
Not long after 1.
How long were you gone?
A few minutes only. One of my bells rang. You remember, it was the American lady. She had rung several times.
I would like to take your fingerprints.
Of course, mademoiselle.
I got to feed a sloth and a porcupine on your birthday? That was pretty cool. That is pretty cool. All right.
I hope the investigation will be concluded successfully and soon.
That's the bathroom. These cars are all empty, I think, but I've got to check them anyway. Oops. Cutscene.
I'll take that key, Mr. Hardman. If you don't give it to me, I can have a couple of the train's staff take it from you.
I'd like to see them try.
Would you really?
All right.
Pierre Michel's passport and an old photograph. I'll just borrow both of them.
This is a formerly posed studio photograph. I recognize Pierre Michel, but not the woman or the young girl at his side. Looks like studio imprint on the back, but there is no date. This is the key Hardman found when he was going through Michel's things. I wonder what Michel needs it for. A bowl full of cake batter. Klaus is gonna be pissed.
What were you doing going through Michel's belongings?
Your job.
You know I'm assisting Monsieur Poirot.
Sure. Begin the interrogation.
What is your profession?
I'm a salesman. Typewriting ribbons.
Do you always travel first class, Monsieur Hartman?
Sure. The firm pays my traveling expenses.
Where is your destination?
Paris.
And from there?
New York.
What can you tell me about the murder?
Nothing at all.
That is a pity. What were you doing outside Monsieur Ratchet's window?
He was outside
Okay, there
Monsieur
were
Rat's
footprints
window.
Man's shoe, but not a large one. Size 7, maybe. I followed the tracks, then it looked like whoever made them put on some snowshoes and headed out over that deep snow near the back of the train.
I would like to take your fingerprints.
I guess it's okay.
Perhaps, Monsieur Hartman, you could tell me why I found a blackjack, or sap as I believe it's called, in your suitcase?
How do you know what it's called?
Crime is a hobby of mine.
Yeah? Well, why don't you try knitting instead? You people are serious about this investigation, aren't you?
Of course. You have heard of Monsieur Poirot?
Yeah, I have. I think I better come clean, or I could find myself in a lot of hot water here.
I would advise you to come clean.
Okay, I don't know anything, like I said. But I ought to know something. That's what makes me sore. I ought to. My passport's a bit of a bluff. That's who I really am.
Please explain.
I showed up at the appointed time. Ratchet put me wise to the situation.
The threatening letters?
Yeah, he showed me 2 of them.
Did Monsieur Ratchet seem alarmed by the letters?
Pretended not to be, but he was rattled all right.
What instructions did he give you?
I was to travel by the same train he did to Paris and see that nobody got him. That's the thing. I did travel by the same train, and in spite of me, somebody did get him. I feel sore about that. Doesn't look any too good for me.
Did he have any idea who the letters were from?
Well, Ratchet described him to me.
What?
Sure. Said he was a small man, dark, with a kind of womanish voice.
Did Monsieur Ratchet not tell you the man's name?
Nope.
Ratchet was Cassetti, the Armstrong murderer.
No kidding. Should have recognized him. I mean, I suppose I saw photos of him in the papers and everything. Well, that explains
A womanish voice.
He said he made a lot of enemies in the American underworld. He often skipped when the heat was on, leaving his partners in crime to face the music. Some assassin finally caught up with him. Say, I've really fallen down on this thing.
Don't we all have a
Famous
womanish
detective
voice?
Like Mr. Poirot on the case, too. This won't do my rep any good with my boss, Mr. McNeil, if it gets back to him.
I'm in the same predicament, Monsieur Hartman. Believe me.
You are? Well, that's good. I mean, bad
There's
for you,
nothing
but
woman about
say,
my
listen,
voice.
If we could keep the mess I've made out of this thing between ourselves.
I must tell Monsieur Poirot everything.
Oh, sure, sure. I'll have to swallow my professional pride there, but if we can keep it on this side of the Atlantic, maybe, I'd really appreciate it.
I'll see what I can do. Do you know anyone connected with the Armstrong case who matches the description Monsieur Ratchet gave you?
Well, that's hard to say. They're mostly dead, aren't they?
Yes. Mrs. Armstrong, Colonel Armstrong, the nursemaid who threw herself out a window.
I remember now. The nursemaid was suspected. She killed herself even though she was eventually cleared.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. Snow is very bright. So, yeah, that nursemaid was a foreigner, I think. Maybe she had some foreign relations or something. But that wasn't the first time Cassetti had run that kidnapping stunt. I bet there are lots of people had it in for him.
Please tell me your movements after dinner last night.
I played some cards with that Italian guy at the front on the coach. Then when people started turning in, I went back to my room. Stayed up all night. Had my door a bit ajar so I could keep watch. But nobody could see me. You get it?
I understand how it is done, yes. Could you see the attendant from that position?
Sure. He sits on that little seat right past my room.
Can you describe his movements?
Let's see. He answered a couple of bells after the snow stopped us. Went back into the rear coach for 10 minutes or so. Then there was a bell ringing like mad, and he came running back. I got a bit nervous over that, but it was just that talkative American dame raising hell about something or other. Bit later, he headed off to make somebody's bed up. Then he settled in.
Did you see anyone moving up and down the passage?
Nope.
Is there anyone on the train who can confirm your identity?
My credentials are taped to the bottom of the table in my compartment, along with my real passport. I'm sure you can find them.
I gotta go back to his compartment.
Do you smoke, Monsieur Hartman?
Sure. I've got some cigarettes in my room. Come on by this evening after things quiet down. I can be far more entertaining than that mouse of a woman in your room.
No, thank you. Thank you, Monsieur
Ooh,
Hartman.
Hardman, are you hitting on me?
I can't see any...
Did I get his fingerprints?
We can talk later.
I guess I did. I guess I need to get the fingerprints of the guy up in the engineering car and this guy's fingerprints. But goddamn, there's so many rooms.
I would like to take your fingerprints.
What is that you say?
Everyone must be fingerprinted.
Refuse? No, of course not. Let's get it over with.
I can't see... I've already said...
Alright. I gotta remember to go get Ratchet's real... Hold on. There's a coat. Go back in. There's a coat. Petite. Very interesting. Because the this coat also says the label reads petite. Alright, alright, alright. Is it nighttime now? Oh man.
Nothing to see.
Nothing to see, man. It's okay. This is the room with the radio in it. I don't think I can fix the radio yet, can I? I do have this thing.
I'm on the right track, but I think I need to do something else first.
I'm on the right
There's no
track.
power.
Let's combine this with the wire.
Those don't work together.
Alright. Maybe the orange juice? Ooh, I got the broken padlock? I didn't even know that. There's a smudge on one side. So I can know who went out to the hut. If I could just get the fingerprints off of it. Alright. This key should open the security door, right? I don't know, I've got a lot of keys. Or I bet the key fits in the padlock, right?
I can't get them to fit.
Oh, okay. Alright. I don't think I need to do this right now. I need to go to the train conductor and get those teeth back that I loaned him.
Do you have a plan to the Athens-Paris coach?
Si, señorita.
Which rooms are occupied in this car?
The Greek doctor is the only passenger. He is in room 13. I have taken room 15 there to sleep in, and room 16 for my equipment. I hope it is all right. Pierre Michel is using room 11, the chef de cuisine is in 9, Lucien the waiter is in 1-2, the engineer is resting in 10 when not attending to the boiler, the fireman rests in 3-4.
What equipment?
I am a ham radio operator. Usually I carry the equipment in the baggage car. There is no time to use it when I'm on duty. And anyway, no power. But when we were stopped so suddenly, I thought to check it and found my telegraph key destroyed. I don't understand it. It was packed carefully. I brought the rest here to my room to keep it safe.
Did anyone pass between this car and the Calais coach last night?
Only Pierre. He came through and we talked for a few minutes about the snow and what it will do to the schedule.
When was this?
Sometime after 1 a.m. A few minutes only. We talked for 10 minutes or so. Then Michel fancied he heard a bell. He opened the doors between the two coaches and we both heard it plainly. A bell, ringing repeatedly. Michel ran to answer it.
You boarded the train in Belgrade?
Si, señorita.
Why were you so late? Your passenger must have boarded by himself, and you yourself almost missed the train.
But this is not so. I was preparing my car as it was being attached. I myself welcomed the Greek doctor and showed him to compartment 13.
I would like to fingerprint you.
I, señorita?
Everyone.
Oh, then si. I will submit.
Oh, nice finger.
That will be enough.
So maybe that guy that I just talked to was the engineer? But I don't know. I just should go check it out, by the way.
I would like to fingerprint you.
Eğer mecbursan.
Aj Majbulusan?
Yalnız bırak beni.
Wait, why does he all of a sudden speak that language? Oh, I thought it was this guy.
I still need to ask you some questions about last night.
At your service, dear young lady. But I know nothing.
So I gave this guy the teeth of the dead guy, and he's really happy
Did you
about
see
it.
anyone leave the train last night?
No, but as I have told you, we were busy with the boiler. The pressure must be kept up for the light and heat.
Did you see anyone get on the train?
In Belgrade, there was a single passenger only for the Athens-Paris coach. No one at the other stops that I saw.
Can you describe this passenger?
He was small, dark. A doctor, I think Michel said.
No one else?
Well, Matteo, of course, the Athens-Paris attendant. Not to speak ill of the crew, but he was very late getting aboard. We left the station only moments later.
Did he have a womanish voice?
I would like to fingerprint you.
Anything you require. However, if you're planning to smear that typewriting ribbon on my fingers, it is unnecessary. My fingers are black from coal dust already.
I got a coal dust fingerprint. Yeah.
That will be enough, Tayyip.
I shall eat like a sultan now. Thank you kindly.
No problem. I like giving you those teeth.
I don't need any.
Alright, I got his fingerprints. I got everyone's fingerprints. So now it's back to Poirot. Because I don't have his fingerprints. And he's about to drop a bombshell. Fingerprint the wolf. Yeah, Duza, there were some wolves that I had to, I'm gonna save it real quick, because Poirot tries to take over every time I talk to him, and it ruins the progress of my game. There were some wolves that I had to shoot at with the gun. It was pretty cool. Alright, he's in number 9. Alright, let's talk to him.
Ah, your return. Is there more to report to me, mademoiselle?
And that is everything I have discovered so far.
We progress, mademoiselle. Now, let us see what we can learn.
The timetable is very complete now.
Oh, yes, it is essential to the understanding of the crime. Study it carefully.
We have many alibis we can use to eliminate suspects.
Yes, too many. Compare them all. Look for discrepancies. We must be certain that they do not leak the water.
Turned into a Cabela hunting game.
I believe I have collected all the passports.
Unfortunately, I do not
Unfortunately,
think so,
I couldn't,
So please to make certain next time, huh? Remember our challenge.
Oh, fuck. Did I just lose points?
I think I have secured all the fingerprints.
Très bien, mademoiselle. You have done well.
I had to go get that fucking passport from that one guy. It's taped under his cupboard.
Madame Hubbard heard a woman in Monsieur Ratchet's room.
Wait, and about the time you heard the noise and saw the woman in the scarlet kimono. So, does a woman speak to Monsieur Ratchet, murder him, drop a handkerchief with the letter H, then scurry off down the corridor in a scarlet kimono? Or does Madame Hubbard hallucinate a woman's voice as well as the man in her room?
The valet masterman says Ratchet took less than his normal sleeping draft.
So, instead of a comatose Ratchet who would not struggle when the knife began its work, we have a Ratchet who might cry out.
But after the cry, I heard Ratchet tell Michelle that there was nothing wrong. Monsieur McQueen saw the woman in the scarlet kimono.
But not enough to identify her. And he says he saw Michelle coming from the direction of the salon car, or at least someone in an attendant's uniform.
Colonel Arbuthnot saw the attendant and thinks he caught the scent of a woman.
Ah, the scent of a woman.
The scent of a
you
woman.
have found a romantic streak
Isn't that a movie?
I would not have suspected one so stolid to possess.
Hildegard Schmidt saw an attendant leaving a compartment.
Oui, one of the middle rooms. Either Ratchet's or Madame Hubbard's. And
Womanish scent. womanish
no, it is not Pierre
voice.
Michel, this small dark man with a mustache who speaks in
I
the
think it
high
was
voice.
me. I think I'm
No,
the killer,
but he matches the
main
description
character.
Ratchet gave Hardman of his enemy. Both Madame Hubbard and Mademoiselle Olsen
I don't even
confirm the
know
connecting
what
door
this
was
lady's
locked.
name is.
An attendant's pass key opens even connecting doors, I think. So I am not so baffled by that locked door.
Colonel Arbuthnot saw Monsieur Hardman watching the corridor from his room.
Monsieur Hartmann's door opens to the right. So unfortunately he could see little of the corridor. But he would have seen if anyone entered the Calais coach from the Athens-Paris coach.
The steak knife I found by the cliff was clean. No blood or fingerprints.
It is a nuisance, that knife. On the face of it, it is of no importance. And yet, someone has taken the trouble to try and fling it over a cliff.
Hardman's actions were very suspicious.
And the key he discovers in Michel's clothing that opens the door to the security room in the baggage car is suspicious as well.
It does open the security door? I gotta go
McQueen's
there.
the son of the district attorney involved in the Armstrong case.
Pardon, district attorney? What is that?
Some sort of police official, I believe. Princess Dragomirov was Sonia Armstrong's godmother.
Oui, it is coincidence, or something more. Merci, mademoiselle. Unfortunately, the report it is not yet complete. We are now armed with much more additional knowledge than before. Continue the investigation, and do not be afraid to go over the ground you have already covered.
Oh, I also got like a bunch of cake dough from the kitchen. Alright. Whose room? Is it Hubbard's room? I thought it was Hubbard's room. Arbuthnot's room? He said that it was taped to the bottom of the table in his room, right?
I've already...
Man. Who was that guy? Is there a diary? Maybe it was Hardman. There it is. Whoa, Hardman? Cyrus Hardman.
I'll put this into my scrapbook so I can take a closer look at it later.
Alright, here we go. Alright. The front side of an official ID badge. The card identifies Cyrus Hardman as a licensed detective from New York, currently employed by the McNeil Detective Agency. Alright, now let's look at my documents. Threatening letter, chatty letter, Ratchet's letter.
Dear sir, you have been pointed out to me as an operative of the McNeil Detective Agency, one of the most reputable private detective agencies in New York, as I have reason to know. Kindly report to my suite here in the hotel at 4 o'clock this afternoon. From the desk of Samuel E. Ratchet.
Okay, cool. That's not important. Gordy using his real voice. Finally.
I won't find any...
Alright, I need to go back to Poirot, and I need to search Poirot's luggage.
Ah, you return.
And that is everything...
We progress, mademoiselle. Now, let us see what we can learn.
I believe I have collected all the passports.
Très bien, mademoiselle. You have done well. Merci, mademoiselle. Unfortunately, the report it is not yet complete.
What?
We are now armed with much more additional knowledge than before. continue the investigation.
Okay.
And do not be afraid to go over the ground.
Is
you
there a
have already
diary? Yeah, there's a lot of diaries. The diary is about, I think it's about the murder. You know? The old murder that they be talking about. Hey, dude.
The key fit perfectly.
Nice. Let's smooth that dress out. Ooh, got a little something on the shoulder. Oh, okay. I don't know the code.
Well, what do we have here? Well, what
Well, what do we have here? Is it a wolf?
I don't think that's appropriate.
I am sorry, ma'am.
Oh, I can do fingerprints, right? Can I do coal?
I can't get them to fit.
Okay, I got a lot of stuff, but let's go look at this. Oh my god.
It's locked fast. It's locked fast.
Alright, so the code's gotta be written something. Morse code. Let's see. True crime stories. Oh my goodness. Alright, here's Daisy Armstrong, died 3 years ago. $200,000 ransom. Ransom paid. Daisy found dead. Sonia Armstrong dead. Parkinson executed. Nursemaid leaps to her death. Kidnapper flees. Aykroyd murder. Dan Aykroyd's murder. Blue Train. Nixon Nerdlinger. And King Alexander. Poirot's instructions. I've done all of his instructions. Timetable. Alright, timetable's filled in. The challenge. Oh, okay. Got the train route. Got the train plan. Alright. So I need to find the code to this safe, right? And it's probably 666, right? Because that's the mark of the beast. How do you do it? You turn it to the right first.
It's locked fast.
Oh, man. Oh, we gotta start at 0, right?
It's locked fast. isn't the right combination. I'll have to start over. That isn't the right combination. I'll have to start over.
Okay. So, what if I do that?
That isn't the right combination. I'll have to start over.
The hat says Rev 1318, right? Where's the Bible passage? $13.18. 600 3score and 6. All right, so my thinking is that this guy Ratchet knew he was the beast, and that's why he insisted on having a safe in all of his dwellings. Revelation 13:18. That's not enough. Like 666 is 3. That's 3 directions. I guess I could go 13.
That isn't the right combination. That isn't the right combination. I'll have to start over.
So maybe it is 6.
That isn't the right combination. I'll have to start over.
It seems like 6 is the first number. Because if I go past 6, then it will. Wait, what?
That isn't the right combination. I'll have to start over.
6, and then I go all the way around.
That isn't the right combination. I'll have to start over.
What?
It's locked fast.
Oh my god.
That isn't the right combination. I'll have to start over.
So when you do a combination lock, you turn it to the right first. No, you turn it to the left first. And then you go all the way past the number. And then you go back.
That isn't the right combination.
Alright. I think the number is 666. I just don't know how to put it in. Also, I need to start collecting samples of fingerprints. Like this broken padlock has a smudge on one side. But I don't know if that... I can't take fingerprints off of it without doing something. Coal...
Those don't...
Coal and tape?
Something is wrong.
Just
I can't...
Tape. Hammer? Ink. Typewriter ink? I guess I used all my typewriter ink. Oh no, here it is.
This doesn't seem to work.
Typewriter ink and tape. I have orange juice as well. I can pour it into a glass.
I can't get them to fit.
This must be conductive or conducive.
The good detective knows your current course of action.
Well, what do we have here?
Alright. I guess we'll have to have another edition of this next time because I am mysteried out right now. But thank you guys for watching. That was Murder on the Orient Express, Part 2. Shouldn't be much more. I think I need to somehow search Poirot's luggage, but he won't let me sort it. Thanks for watching, Uncle D, Duza. I'll see you guys next week.